Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I am your host, Billy Blinks, back in the home studio, joined as always by Brian. Brian, how are you?
What's up, man? Happy to have you back.
It's nice to be back. I mean, obviously, I only missed the Survivor episode because I was traveling. I had fun covering the Bachelorette while in Orlando last week. That was pretty fun. And, we covered a lot of the stuff with Jamie. And we, for the most part, moved on from there. We've moved on from there, Brian, because I'm ready to say it. The dates on the Bachelorette are so bad that even the Bachelorette doesn't want to be on them.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was watching this today and my blood was boiling with like I was so pissed. Like, I didn't even want to text you because I wanted to save everything for this show. But like, this has got to be the staple now. They need to change things because how can you, that date was stupid. So stupid. I mean, and she's like, no one's talking to me. It's like, you picked a fucking slumber party. Like, who wants to do that? Like, guys are going to be guys. Like, they're going to have fun. And I understand this about her. I completely understand that. I'm not like taking anything away from her, but like, let's start having conversations with people that you actually might want to spend your life with.
She liked to say her John Cena, they couldn't see her a lot this episode. Also, if you're going to have a goddamn slumber party for guys and you want them to hang out and engage with you, where's the Xbox? Where's the beer? Where's the like, what kind of there was unicorns and cotton candy and there's a Build-A-Bear there. It's just like, there's better things. Like, they show even in this episode that hiking date's a good date. That's a normal date. You go on a hike, you talk, you go to dinner, you then have a private concert. private concerts, Brian.
I do like Andy Grammer, but I can't support it.
We can't support it. I mean, we talk about the cardinal rules, and we'll get to actually a cardinal rule this week that was violated, in my opinion, but they gotta chill out on that. They gotta chill out on these private dates, man. We're just the private concerts. Excuse me. It's product placement. It's all product placement.
That's what again, this episode, like the WWE chicks, it's like, because they did a wrestling skit, like, you need to have them there. Like, it's stupid.
The BMW M3.
Yeah.
Like, it's let's just go. But let's dive into the word, each one, and I'll because there's a lot to react to, and I don't really want to miss a lot here. Not gonna be super positive on this episode on a lot of it. We're giving everyone a heads up. We're not completely negative. We're gonna highlight some positives. We had some people that we said we liked, and at least I liked it. I'm sure Brian will agree on some of it, but let's just get into it. The format of the episode: 2 one-on-one dates. There's going to be 1 group date as well. Doesn't look like anyone will be left out as of yet. We were talking about that last week, where you get to the point where some guys don't get dates. Not there yet. Let's see. Right off the first date, it's going to go to Martin. Martin had a good week the last few weeks. We were saying we think Martin was building some momentum. Really weirdly, though, and I never noticed this or thought it was brought up, but they kept bringing up that him and Jamie were very close. Did you catch that before?
Yeah. No, I was going to say, wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know, but as soon as that got brought up pretty quickly, you're like, oh boy, this is going to be a topic of conversation. We got our first plug, which was the BMW M3, and a broken cardinal rule of the Reality Guys. If it's the first time watching the Reality Guys, Brian, myself, and Kevin have started to develop some cardinal rules of things that they should stop doing or shouldn't do on any episode of The Bachelor or Bachelorette. This one was no to motorsports or driving dates.
Yeah, at least they weren't drinking.
They weren't drinking, but I'm sick of it. They were trying to Tokyo drift. The whole date was trying to learn how to Tokyo drift.
Yeah, that one dude later in the episode was whipping them around in that back seat. Like,
I don't like the date format because they're separated. They're always like trying to compete. And then they got into a hot tub that was made out of tin sitting in the middle of a race course.
Of course.
Horrible date. They do lay on, like, this is where I first started. What are you doing, bro? They sitting in that dirty ass hot tub, and Michelle brings up the relationship that he had with Jamie. He goes, he's a good man.
Yeah.
And she takes her out of it, Brian. This is a sign of things to come, but she was taken out of a lot of things by basically anything this episode.
Yeah, I agree. That's what a lot of people on Twitter were saying too. I tried to I searched it after I watched it, and a lot of people were like, it's just can't take everything so personally, but whatever.
Listen, she wouldn't let anything go. That was like a big theme of the episode, because when we come back from the commercial break, the first thing literally she addresses when they go to their nice dinner is, so your Jamie comment. I found myself doing a lot, and I don't do this a ton when I watch. Like, I usually give myself plenty of time, but like this was not a time constraint thing. Man, I was hitting the 10-second fast forward a lot during some of these conversations. I'm going to be honest. I didn't, by the second or third. Oh, good.
You didn't miss anything.
No, but I mean, listen, I'm not even, again, none of the stuff she was saying about, feeling like, with like the racial stuff, like feeling like not seen, all that kind of stuff, all legitimate, but it felt shoehorned. It felt like it really had nothing to do with a guy saying he liked the guy that she got rid of, or later on guys literally doing the date that she put them on and being upset by that. So it all just reverts back to the stuff that was serious from last episode. But last week was a serious date with the serious stuff. Like, this was a slumber party. Again, here we go. Third week in a row I'm saying this. It seems a little produced.
Yep.
I really don't think she couldn't really be that upset about this, right?
That also just makes me think that she doesn't pick the dates.
No, they have nothing to do with the dates, especially during this shit with COVID.
No knowledge whatsoever. Like, maybe I kind of thought they maybe like give a heads up, like, hey, this is kind of what the premise is going to be. But to kind of, why would she sign off on that? Is mine. Like,
I think we're going to see a big change starting next week. We know that or when we hit the Minnesota, maybe she has a little bit more input. At least she'll feel more comfortable. There's no way she's not going to feel at least more comfortable in Minnesota. So maybe that'll be the case, but we do know some of the drama will be following her, and we'll get to that when we get to Chris S. When we get to Chris S, because I have a bone to pick with Chris S, because this is now the second week in a row where the Bachelor franchise has literally stolen something that I've said before they say it. And I'm getting sick and goddamn tired of this shit. Like, I swear to God, I'm going to have timestamps, Brian, but it's a little tease, but we're going to get to that. Date card number 2 is the group date. Following men are on this date: Will, Casey, Chris S, Chris G, Leroy, Rodney, Olu, Brandon, Clayton, Joe, Romeo, and Nate Dogg. That means by process of elimination that Pretty Ricky will have the
pretty Ricky
second one-on-one date. The only real thing to come out of the date card was Nate saying that he's all good. Like, I'm confident I will get my time with her eventually, which triggered our boy Chris S a little bit. And that was a sign of things to come. It jumps back to Martin at the end of his one-on-one date. He does receive a rose. If nothing else, Martin's mature. He's like, okay, yeah, if you felt like that was weird for me to say, my bad. I'm not the best at saying the right thing, but like, I care about you.
Right. It almost seems like they brought up the Jamie stuff to like make people have doubt in him,
which I think is bullshit. Like, again, remember, you were kind of more high on him early on, but I've just liked his trajectory. I think he's been, I don't think he's going to win.
He's definitely every week. He's like a stock market chart, like going up.
He's a sneaky, like top 5-6 guy. Honestly, there's a couple guys I think from process of elimination next 3 to 4 weeks are going to drop off that I don't think are wherever like winning contenders have made a good appearance, maybe bought themselves a ticket to paradise, which if I'm going on the Bachelor franchise, I think literally in my head, it's like trying to make the tournament. It's like, I just need to get enough showing to get invited to paradise.
Right.
That's all I need.
We're getting close though, where we can start to be like, I think this is this guy is like a candidate.
I think after this episode, Chris S may be a candidate.
Yeah. I like Chris S as a candidate for sure.
Even Martin be great for paradise.
Yeah, he's got the look.
He definitely has to look for paradise.
And if Olu doesn't go, I think Olu is a good one too, because he's like really in shape.
Yeah, no, they definitely like that. He does get. We're talking about Martin. He does get a rose, so Martin will be making it on to next week. They end the date at a really fake, dumb observatory, though.
Yo, at least it wasn't a concert.
It wasn't a concert.
I was like, it's a little weird, but I gave them a little props there for doing something a little original. So
We
not many points.
This is where the real dumpster fire of this episode starts. The other men receive gift bags, and they're all a bunch of PJs. So we already know we're in. I thought at first when that got sent, I'm like, lingerie party? Like,
Yeah.
will it be like not like sex themed, but will it be a little bit more like romantic themed? It wasn't. The date was the teddy bear takedown. I'm gonna make sure everyone heard that. The group date this week on The Bachelorette was the teddy bear takedown. It was a 2-part date with a Build-A-Bear workshop slumber party combined with a teddy bear fight hosted by the Bella twins, famous from WWE and also their reality show, the Total Bellas. Nikki Bella is married actually to the guy Artem, who is one of the professional dancers on Dancing with the Stars. So they have a lot of reality TV roots, but by the time they got there, Michelle was already over with her own date. Brian, do you want to explain why we kind of teased earlier that Michelle wasn't happy with her date?
Like, cause she wasn't getting attention, and this is where I have my hang up. Like, based on what I saw, like, yeah, she wasn't getting attention, but at the same time, it's like, this is what you get for having a stupid date. So I don't feel bad for you at all. I feel zero regret for saying any of this. And like the guys know it's dumb. I want somebody on a confession to be like, this date was dumb. I want somebody to stand up, cup their balls, and have the gall to be like, this is a stupid date. And they took advantage of it. They did fun things. Like, they're like, oh, they were trying to make the best of the situation because it was stupid.
Michelle, Brian, and myself are huge fans of yours, actually. We always have been, but take some advice from 2 married men that if you're worried about getting ignored while being married, you are in for the wrong agreement. And it goes both ways. But like, I mean, my poor wife, like, I got Harry Potter wands, I got goddamn Thanos gloves. I'm got a reality TV show. Like, you think some guy that you meet like on The Bachelor or Bachelorette isn't going to be around and ignore you a lot? Like, gotta take it. I'm gonna give her a bad week. We're gonna snap off a bad week for Michelle, but I think she's gonna have to realize that what marriage may be.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the times when I'm by myself. The late, like after 10 p.m. That's my time to shine.
That's like right where we have to clip, where we can't do the promo. We have to end the where Brian goes, I actually like being by myself. Yeah, so
The
I
content.
mean, yeah, always for the content. I mean, the rest of it's really the stupid stuff. Like, Nate talked shit and lost. That was funny.
A lot of people talk shit and lost.
Chris S's dick and balls popped out.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Michelle leaves her own dates. On the page 2 there. Yeah, Michelle says that she can't see me. I think John Cena should. Oh, funny enough, John Cena used to be engaged to Nikki Bella. So we're going to talk about, look at the dots that we're connecting here right now, the reality TV dots. I just educated some fans. You're all welcome.
Bill, what's that gif of John Cena where he like puts his head through a hole in the wall? He's like, are you sure about that? Is that, you know,
I mean, it's probably, yeah, I think it's probably just from like a segment he did on an episode, and then they just
super funny.
Yeah,
like,
I'll insert it.
I like a lot of this. Anything can't see me, Tony Yayo, I'm into that.
Michelle hijacks her own time from the second half of the group date because she instantly brings it right up to the guys, and then they all have to go on the apology tour. And this is where I lost it on this episode, man. You would have thought all these guys murdered somebody.
Yeah.
The way that they all had to sit down and be like, Michelle, I'm sorry. You're gonna get the best me. You haven't seen. It's like, you guys didn't do anything wrong. You really didn't do anything wrong. You went on the date and did what they did. It was a dumb date. You told them to play with the teddy bears. They play with the teddy bears. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, like Olu was crying. I mean, like, he should
Yeah,
get
he's got to chill out a little bit.
that was the actor of the episode.
No, yeah, he's got to chill out. I literally wrote in caps lock. This was always the worst, biggest overreaction I've ever seen on a Bachelor episode.
Yeah.
Like
we're like, oh man, I felt it. And then you know what? I'm gonna save this for when we get on Rick's date, but I got something else that's gonna be like why I'm a heartless, soulless fuck.
Oh, well, I actually know where this is going. All right, let's go there then. Speaking of someone who can see her, Rick says he can see her. It's probably because of the eyeliner.
Yeah,
he definitely can see
her.
Her
eyes are so glazed over and just like.
I mean, they call him like Ricky Blinks. Like he's got taking my nickname from me. It's like I kind of teased earlier on. Their one-on-one date is a tram ride and a nature walk, /hike, which I thought was cool. Brian, why don't you just have the floor here? Why don't you get to your complaints about
I got no issues with the date itself. Like you said earlier, I think this was a good date. These are the type of dates you need to have if you're planning on meeting someone that you claim you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You're doing something fun, you're having conversations. I'm totally for that. What I'm not for, and I'm getting very sick of it, is anytime somebody has a one-on-one, they like always have a sob story. It's like that. And that's where the heartless me is coming out. I'm heartless.
Right, you're not being heartless. So listen, he was referring to how he said that he had a strained relationship with his father. His father suffered from depression, and obviously his father passed away. That is none of the things what Brian's talking about. And I get exactly where you're going with this, Brian, because again, coming from people who are married, have been in long-term relationships, I did not bring up like any of my trauma anywhere near the beginning of our first few dates. And I understand it's television, but it really reeks of like I need to connect with like almost sympathy, because I need to make sure I establish myself to get roses, because if I don't get there quick enough, I may not, and I never get to tell her about like my insert dead parent, my sickness, my child, my Bitcoin, whatever. You know what I mean? Again, I am not minimalizing any of that. It's just weird for.
No, I'm not discounting anything that these people are going through, but I feel like every time it's a one-on-one, somebody's got something where they're upset or I did this, and it's just like, why don't you talk about like stuff that you've done, you've accomplished in your life or something? Like, why is it always the negatives that we got to hear about? Like, I don't care. Look, I could give a fuck.
We've seen this, Brian, the whole Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise this past year, post Chris Harrison, Rachel Lindsay stuff, all like that. And this isn't a woke versus anything, but the franchise has basically been on like an apology tour. The Katie stuff was sex positivity and pushing all that. And even though we kind of seen that how she handled some of the stuff in that season may have led to her not really making the proper connections or having the right guys there at the end. And now with Michelle, and I think a lot of this is produced, but they're pushing a lot of a social agenda in certain ways. And nothing gets to just be lighthearted when it can, those serious moments. Like I remember we watched that first season, even though Matt James turned out to be an idiot too. The serious stuff came at the end, and they had the undercurrent of stuff, but it was not every week was not about like one-upping each other.
Right, exactly.
And it takes the fun out of it. I'm sure, and I don't read the reactions until after we record, like Twitter, stuff like that. But I'm sure if when I go into the groups that we talk to, especially again, the rumor mill, again, shout out to Bachelor Rumor Mill, it's been awesome being moderating and all like that in there.
Yep.
Those guys, I'm sure there was a lot of negative reaction to this episode too, and a lot of over dramatics. I'd be willing to bet that's the general consensus.
Yeah, and I know this show's not made for me, obviously, but like we're trying to want these people to have success finding their, I guess I'm not going to say their person because I refuse to say that, but a person that they could spend the rest of their life with, learn stuff about them instead of like this garbage, like big, like clicks. It's like for clicks almost. Like what's the dude that with his kid last season? Like, sorry you missed your kid, but man,
Michael A.
Yeah, it's just like,
yeah, that was all again. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's just
with the FaceTime and with the kid and Daddy, do you love me anymore? That kid didn't say that.
Yeah.
Please.
All planned. It's all BS.
Yeah. So Rick can see her. They go through everything. He gets the rose, and then there's another private concert.
Is it Andy Grammer?
Yeah. Again, I have no problem with Andy Grammer either. It's just this. I mean, what is
I agree.
4 weeks? Is that 5 in 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's at least 3.
I think there's been one. Maybe it's minimum three.
Counting like the symphony one.
Yeah, that's like 3 to 5 we've had already in 4 weeks. It's a lot. I mean, I can literally just go back on my notes from the first 4 episodes and I'll look, and I'm sure I'll be able to count how many we had.
Yeah, like enough with the promotion, man. Put on an iPod and dance.
Why don't you like say like that again? That's what a date would be. If you two of you walked into like the thing with the speaker and you're like, all right, pick a song.
Yeah,
like that. It's more fun.
Pick a song. If it's not good, I'm dumping you. No rose for you.
Squid Games. Let's go to the cocktail party. Right off the bat, Chris S gets onto his shit. He hijacks the opening conversation, addresses the group, says some people think you have it in the bag. We know he's talking about Nate because he said that about Nate in a confessional earlier. You should either speak up or leave, he said. Really up the ante.
His balls got out in the underwear and he was rolling with it.
He never put them away, actually. He never put them
actually, if you look, they're out of his fly in that suit.
The entire time. Yeah. Brandon goes over and say, okay, well, can I take you first? Chris says, nope, I have her first. Or who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah. Hey, man, put his foot down.
Chris goes, has conversation with Michelle and quickly name drops Nate. Michelle's face again goes real sourpuss for like the third time this episode. This chick cannot get through this episode without being mad. She instantly goes and brings Nate over. Nate kept it cool. He's like, I said that, but that's not being cocky. And I don't know why he just brought me up. She was very hung up on the fact that no one has it in the bag. And this is, I'm not a prize. I kind of are, right?
I mean, the winner is a winner.
The winner gets you. Like there's nothing like a trophy or a medal or like there's a final rose, I guess. But again, it's like it's when you're not having a bad day, you wouldn't say something like that because it's not what's happening here. You know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry, a guy's confident. You know what I mean? Like it's not Jamie. I like that both Brandon and Nate separately address Chris S and say you're full of shit. And Chris S doesn't have any. Chris S says he doesn't care about Nate, but the comeback is, well, you're talking about me. It's kind of check right there, boy.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Like, where did this Chris S thing come from before I lose my shit on him fucking copyright infringing on me?
Dude, I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff like the Martin and Jamie bomb, and then this, like, it's like we said, it's like we hit episode 4, we got to introduce a new villain, little side villain, and I'm sure one of these guys in the end is going to be like the Greg of last season, you know, like everyone's got to assume the role that we've watched the blueprint for the last couple seasons of who's going to take on that job of being the bad guy.
So last week I may or may not have lost my cool a little bit with Jamie, you know, but I didn't really like how he played with Michelle. So this week I kind of have it again. Bri. Chris S, you mother. You literally said that you were going to ride in on a white horse to the castle of Taver. I've been coining white knighting on the Bachelor franchise for 4 seasons now, dude. Get your own joke. Joke's on you. The white knight never wins. But who are you to come on national TV after obviously watching us and using my joke? No. First, last week they took Snake and then they started running with Snake this week. They called Chris S. Chris Snake. I moved on from that. Snake's okay. I can't really claim Snake. That's a good one. But white knighting, I've literally coined that. That's been a thing I've been saying for, I mean, how many times have I said that?
Countless.
You, dude. No, but all love. No, I mean, again, these guys are like literally characters. I mean, the point is though, I mean, I got mad, but I was laughing because it's literally like this goddamn shit.
You know what it is a producer watches our show, got the idea, and then like in the headset, they're like, "All right, Chris, time to say it. Time to say the line we've been rehearsing." It's really gonna piss that Bill off
Yeah.
over in Jers.
Because they heard about how much I gush over Mark Wahlberg, and they just don't feel like I give the host the amount of love they do. So
When is he gonna be a guest or a guest on one of these dates?
we're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there. We're
No,
gonna
on
get there.
the Bachelorette, he just grills everyone, and they all like, I'm just gonna
They
self-eliminate.
could use him. They could use Jeff Probst would be great. Like a Survivor themed week would be wonderful. I mean, obviously different. They're also all on different networks, so
I know it'd be awesome to him to yell at these grown men, and they yell back at him, stuff like that.
they should do like a loan thing like they do in soccer. Like you could loan and we're not gonna even send them Tasha or Caitlin because no one would even take them. But like you could trade Wells for a couple of weeks or something to go to Survivor, and he'll be a little bit more lighthearted. Be like, guys, look, I know, like it really sucks that that guy betrayed you, but like here's a mojito. You know what I mean? Like he could just mix it up a little bit.
You know who they really reminded me of this week, especially with just like all their side banter? Did you ever see Hercules?
Oh yeah,
movie.
it's like my favorite.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite too. They're like Pain and Panic to Hades, and like Hades is. I'm not saying that Michelle is Hades, but like the level of them just being there and incompetent, like doing stupid things, like running around, like, oh, I hope his balls don't fall out. Ooh.
Big shout out to Hercules. Big shout out to Walt Disney World, where I spent a few days or had my first half of my wedding, and I am definitely way pro Disney. So you come to the reality, guys, you may get some pro Disney references. And coming from Brian, that's pretty good.
I mean, this is what they remind. This is what they are to me. They're not even hosts. They're just balls don't fall out. Ooh.
You know, they move on in between the thing before the rose ceremony. Olu kind of like, yo, Chris asked, you think you're gonna get a rose? You're gonna get a rose.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you sure, bro?
Chris S made an outrageous claim that we knew no way he would ever do. He said that if he got a rose, he would turn, say, "This one's for you, Olu," and wink at him.
I wish he did it.
No shot in hell. I wrote that literally in there. Vince McMahon, no chance in hell you would ever do that. Olu probably would have crushed him. Let's get to the rose ceremony. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Remember, Olu and Pretty Ricky already have roses. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more roses to get us to the final 10. The following men received roses. Like we said, one-on-one dates: Olu and Rick, Brandon, Leroy, Joe, Rodney, Clayton, Casey, Nate, and Chris S. So Chris S survived. I wrote right away, yo, cuz, where was your wink?
If we ever get to the level of this show being huge and we can have drops, we need to have a producer plant drop, because that dude's a producer plant.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. Actually, I'm gonna work on that.
Like it would just hit it. It's like producer plant. Like somebody can be saying it, and it's like
producer plant drop. Working on that. Okay, cool. Following men were eliminated. That means we lost Will, we lost Chris G, and we lost Romeo. Nothing really crazy. I liked Will. I think Will was really deflated because of the jacket incident.
Yeah, he doesn't have his arch enemy here to fuel. Like as soon as Pizza Pete went, his fire died. Like
they were yin and yang. It's like Batman and the Joker. One cannot exist without the other.
Right. He started to just fizzle away.
The final announcement was that they are now moving, and I don't know if it's permanently, but they are now moving the show to Minnesota. So we saw some of this preview stuff in the trailers, and for next week, looks like we're going to get the Minnesota Vikings date. Looks like Joe is going to get that Twins date.
Yeah. And
then it looks like there's a Nate one-on-one dinner date, or maybe something coming from winning like a thing in a group date. Also looks like Chris S is like lurking above Nate's date, watching him, and Brandon with some kind of drama as well.
Yeah, dude, he's like jumping in on a single date or whatever.
Yeah, and like I've never seen Nate and Brandon have any kind of beef, so it's interesting that I wonder if anybody kind of takes Chris S's side in that respect.
I wonder if it's what was the chick that was hooking up with G-Eazy after Matt? Is it Sarah?
Yeah.
Remember how she just like barged in on like a conversation during a group date? It could just be that. Like he just was having like a emotional moment and he's like, I'm doing it. And you're like, no. But the producers are like, yes, go,
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 go.
go. Ruin Nate's day because he's already had a bad few weeks with like other crap.
Right.
Like, let's keep it like, yeah. So overall, we definitely had a lot more criticisms than praise this episode. I mean, I think that's how the episode was formatted. I think they wanted us to feel that way. I don't see how they really, there was no happy ending to this episode. Like the villain of the week won. He moved on. He survived and advanced. He gets to go to the hometown stuff. Not hometowns per se, but that's what's going to make hometowns interesting. They're already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And also Chris S adopting the villain role, wearing all black. Yeah, I'm into that. Like we're
That's
really
producer plant.
yeah, definitely. Yo, so what? There's 12 dudes left?
10 dudes left.
10?
Yeah.
That's it? There's only 10 dudes left?
Brand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, 10 guys.
How long is these? How many episodes are we gonna get? We're only at so we're 4 episodes in, there's only 10 dudes left?
Yeah. So if I think it has on IMDb, it has 10 episodes listed in the frame. So next week would be 5. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more weeks.
That's like this, that's like the end of the year.
6 more weeks gets you. Yeah, 6 weeks. Six. Actually, I know 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks definitely gets you out to the end of the year. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Get you to December 22nd.
Plus a reunion.
December 22nd. Yeah, and they're not going to start anything. Nobody airs anything new the last like 2 weeks of the new year, and usually like right when the new year kicks back in is when shows will begin again. So
God, I hope they don't put the show on a break.
no. I mean, like there won't be, it won't go like finale / reunion and the next week will be The Bachelor. You know what I mean? It's going to end in December, it seems like, and then probably kick back in January. Would make sense to me.
Yo, your shirt has been doing crazy shit.
Bro, if the closer I get, it turns white.
Dude, it turns white sometimes, man. It's
Wild,
like
right?
a hollow card.
I think it's like I'm like a Blastoise card right now. I was thinking that and I'm like, man, like this thing thinks I'm like a green screen.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was gonna bring it up, but I just
No, I actually was thinking that too. You've seen me like looking at it. Like I was like, oh,
yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, Brian will be off this week for Survivor. So Kevin and myself will be covering. What is this going to be? Week 5, Brian?
No, I think it's like week
6. We'd be 6 or
like that.
6 or 7. It's going well. I will give my reactions to the past 2 episodes since I missed when the time travel stuff occurred. I will give my reactions, and then Kevin and I will react live to the episode. Besides that, we also saw that we have what else we have coming, Bri?
So we have Challenge All Stars coming back.
Challenge All Stars
And
starts
I'm hoping
tomorrow.
this like can like spark us going back to the challenge that's currently going on, because we keep saying we're going to do it, we just haven't done it, but we just all been busy. That show you talked about on Netflix, that could be like a soft 2 episodes because of if they're going to do like bundle drops, the lie detector show.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now, the name for you, because I sent you guys the picture. It's called Love Never Lies. The first 6 episodes are dropping November 11th on Netflix. It looks like it's like a Partners, which is actually also tomorrow, Brian. So All Stars and that drop tomorrow. So yeah, and I agree. It's everybody, we started the page. It was figuring out schedules. Kevin also had gotten a new job as well, works more hours. So we figure out our lineup. Brian's got a lot of stuff obviously going on at home as well. I was getting married and had my honeymoon. So that like 6 weeks where we started the show, even I'm proud of where the show is already, just how fucking hectic those 6 weeks were and what we already were able to kind of start a baseline of and community wise. And there's more stuff coming. Like we said, we have a lot more reality stuff coming. We have more stuff coming soon, which we will announce about more other pop culture things so that you can get our takes, not only on reality TV, but some stuff that we actually know a little bit more about. And we're learning the stuff about reality TV as we go. And that's why this is fun for us. And, it's just going to be more and more things that we can share with the community and more importantly, just have fun with. So,
yeah.
Well, For myself, for Brian, for Thanos, for Hogwarts, peace.
See you.